who are there to protect Hindutva were not reminded of Kali, the goddess, the dark goddess who wears black. Yes. The feminine power, the woman, the goddess who is supposed to drive away ego, arrogance and ignorance. And the same black color we have chosen to protest is the color of Periyar. Our intellectual leader. He taught us self-respect. He taught us never to bow. He taught us fight till the end. And we will fight till the end. Sir, we oppose these bills in the name of our leaders, Aringer Anna, Kalingar Karunanidhi, who said, states are not a unit of the unitary state, but equal partners of a federation. In the name of our Chief Minister, M.K. Muthuvel Karunanidhi Stalin, who even in an article today has said that this bill should be withdrawn. A fresh bill should be introduced and placed in public domain at least for 3 months for wider consultation. He says, the moment calls for reflection, not expediency, deliberation, not haste. If the Constitution is to endure as a charter of trust, its amendment must be guided by principle anchored by fairness, restraint and fidelity to the Republic's enduring integrity. Tamil Nadu போராடும், Tamil Nadu வெல்லும். நன்றி, வணக்கம்.
Dr. Shashi Tharoor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I must say that we all strongly endorse the very impressive presentation by the Speaker before me, sir, because this is a matter that touches the very soul of our democracy, the representation of half of our population in the hallowed halls of our Parliament. And for decades, the Women's Reservation Bill has been long promised, frequently discussed, perpetually delayed, like waiting for Godot of our political system. Today, we stand at a threshold where there is remarkably a near unanimous political consensus in favor of women's reservation. Every major party in this House recognizes that the time for tokenism is over and the era of equal partnership must begin. And yet I'm finding myself deeply perturbed by the legislative exercise before us. The Prime Minister says the government has brought Nari Shakti, a gift of justice, but he has wrapped it in barbed wire, tethering the implementation of women's reservation to the expansion of Parliament, to numbers from the 2011 census, and an exercise of delimitation. Why, Mr. Speaker, why must we entangle a moral imperative with a demographic minefield? Women's reservation is ready for harvest. खेत की फसल काटने के लिए तैयार है दोस्तों. It can and should be implemented immediately based on our existing parliamentary strength. To link it to delimitation is to hold the aspirations of Indian women hostage to one of the most contentious and complex administrative exercises in our nation's history. Sir, delimitation is not a mere bureaucratic rearranging of maps. It is a profound shift in political power that is intended. Linking women's reservation to it effectively holds the aspirations of Indian women hostage to one of the most contentious political exercises in our history. Such an exercise, sir, carries risks that could strain the very fabric of our federalism, as you heard from the previous speaker. Any delimitation exercise is fraught with complications that could tear at the very fabric of our federalism. We must be candid about what is at stake when constituencies are redrawn based on either current population figures or even the 2011 census. Let's face it, sir, delimitation requires serious discussion. We face a profound demographic divergence. There are at least 3 major fault lines in our country, sir. First, the balance between small states and big states. Second, the balance between states, particularly in the south like Tamil Nadu or Kerala, which have diligently implemented national goals of population control and invested in inclusive human development, and those states, mainly in the north, who have not. Yet in future delimitations, states that have failed to curb population growth would be rewarded with greater political weight, and we must ask if this is the message we wish to send. that governance excellence leads to political irrelevance. Third factor, sir, the balance between the states that are the engines of our economy, contributing more to the national exchequer than they receive, and those that are net recipients of central funds. A delimitation based purely on population would further marginalize the voices of those states that provide the lion's share of resources that keeps our union afloat. We risk creating a tyranny of the demographic majority, where a handful of large, poor states could theoretically determine the fate of the entire country, leaving smaller states and those with distinct linguistic and cultural identities and economic contributions feeling like bystanders in their own country. Conversely, states with high population growth but lower economic productivity could gain outsized political power without corresponding fiscal responsibility. What happens, sir, to cooperative federalism? You have proposed delimitation with such haste, the same haste that you showed on demonetization. And unfortunately, we all know what damage that did to the country. Delimitation, sir, will turn out to be political demonetization. Don't do it, sir. Now, I want to say the 50% formula that suddenly the Home Minister came and presented to us yesterday regarding the delimitation exercise, promising that no state will lose its current number of seats, total House strength will increase by 50%. This remains a precarious political assurance and not a legislative certainty, because the pledge is fundamentally with the principle of one state, one equal partner, one value in a country like ours. As India approaches a new delimitation exercise, sir, the constitutional question is whether the spirit of cooperative federalism can be preserved through a model that respects demographic reality while preventing structural domination by a few large Hindi-speaking states. Digressive proportionality would not violate constitutional democracy. It would operationalize the Constitution's deeper commitment to the Indian principle of balancing unity with diversity. Sir, सीमांकन से जुड़े मुद्दों पर सभी हितधारकों, सभी राज्य सरकारों, सभी राजनीतिक दलों और नागरिक समाज के साथ व्यापक परामर्श की आवश्यकता है, सर। इस प्रक्रिया को जल्दबाजी में नहीं किया जा सकता और ना ही इसे महिलाओं के प्रतिनिधित्व को लागू करने के बहाने के रूप में इस्तेमाल किया जाना चाहिए। सरकार देश के निर्वाचन मानचित्र को पर्याप्त विचार विमर्श और व्यापक परामर्श के बिना क्यों पुनर्निर्धारित करना चाहेगी, ये मुझे समझ में नहीं आ रहा, सर। I urge the government, therefore, to decouple these issues. Pass the Women's Reservation Bill today, we will support it. The Prime Minister spoke with passion about Nari Shakti. Let it take effect already in the next general election, using our current seat count. Show the women of India that your commitment is not a mere rhetorical flourish. As for delimitation, sir, let us defer it. Let us constitute a formal mechanism, perhaps a JPC, sir, to debate a new federal settlement that protects the interests of all states. Let us ensure that a march towards a new India does not give us a disunited India. Let us not leave our most successful states behind. Bharatiya Ekta ke liye हमें काम करना चाहिए, sir. Let us give women their due now. महिलाओं को नारी शक्ति ही दे दे और give our nation, our union of states, the time it needs to solve its demographic challenges with wisdom and not just arithmetic. बस मैं यही कहना चाहता था संक्षिप्त में, sir. Thank you very much for listening to me. It's a plea to the government. Please be sensible about the larger interests of the country and not the short-term interests of the ruling party. Jai Hind, sir.
Shri P.V. Mithun Reddy.